Hey guys, so this is going to be really quick because I'm getting ready to go to bed. I am exhausted. I clearly don't wake up like this, but um, so I'm on a 30-day fast, right? TV fast. And I stopped watching TV on January 26, 2020. And I know I said 2019 in the last video, but force a habit. And so the first week was very productive. The second week, not so much. I got distracted by I had two more vices. So YouTube channels, like YouTube thing, Jeffree Star, I can't stop watching him. I don't know why. And then this girl who makes videos with a British voice, something Sophie Shohei or something like that. So I've been watching all of their videos, which is kind of like watching TV. So now I have to give myself an extra 7 days of a fast because I have been watching YouTube and I'm not supposed to. Then my other vice was video games, like on your phone, you know? So I got distracted by that. So I probably lost like 3 or 4 days to those things. I know. Anyways, but and I was sick and I had a respiratory infection that I just got over. It took me 3 days because what I did was I put 2 electric heaters on in my room. I sweated it out for 20 hours. I didn't eat or drink anything for 2 days. Oh, no, I didn't eat anything. I only drank water for 2 days. And then I think like a can of Diet Coke. And on the first day I had a quart of, you can hear it now, right? I thought I had the coronavirus. I was so scared. I had a quart of wonton soup, a can of Diet Coke, and like 2 bites of boneless spare ribs. The best boneless spare ribs ever around the corner. And then 2 like steamed dumplings, right? And then I decided that I was gonna stop, you know, like something in my mind was like, starve yourself and sweat it out. Because it started getting really bad. So I did that. So I didn't eat for 2 days after that. And all I did was drink was like 6 or 7 pitchers of water each day because I was just sweating, like sweat was just dripping down my face. It was dripping down my back. It was soaking in my bed. It was just gross. But I had to get whatever was out of my system. I'm tired. So I did that and then I felt better, and now it's like 3 days after that and now I'm fine. I have like residual cough, like 1 cough every 3 hours maybe. On a positive note, I actually was able to renew my life insurance. So I took the test today. I passed for the continuing education credits. I let my license expire, but you have like 2 years to renew it. So I'm like 9 months after. But so yeah, it expired 9 months ago and now I'm renewing it. So once the certificate comes in next week, then I can reinstate it. So that's a positive thing. Now I have to study for my life insurance continuing education, and for my notary public, I have to pay for that. So that's kind of like what I've been doing. And then I've been talking to a lot of people about the Women Can Do It Too conference that I want to hold next April. I wanted to do it this April, but there's no way. There's no way. And I want it to be really, really awesome. It's going to be a 2-day conference. It's going to, you know, it's for women empowerment to like help you, you know, be confident, love yourself, teaching you how to like run your business, networking, teaching you different ways to actually make money, you know, like different sources of income that you can create, so that you can have your money in diverse places, or like suggestions for moms to work from home, as well as people who just want to start their own business and they want to do it while they're still working. And just like, it's just going to be a bunch of stuff. But it's basically just a 2-day workshop. Women can do it too. It's just saying that we can do it all if we really learn how to focus, organize, cope, all of those things. So I met a marketing company that said they would help me. I met a PR company that said they would help me. I'm developing the app right now. So it should be really cool. That's what I'm working on right now. Not watching TV forces me to do everything else. I really didn't get back into reading like I said I wanted to. I did list most of the stuff I needed to on eBay. I'm going to do the rest tomorrow. And then I just clean my room because I have nothing else to do. And then I guess I'll start reading again, and just keep game planning. And then I just talked to a guy about doing a class, a sex class at the dungeon. Sounds weird, right? So if you don't know anything about me, I have this project that I've been working on since 2008 called the Intimacy School. It's just me. And I hold classes on, like, let's talk about sex. There have been other classes throughout, the course of, over the years. But in order for me to be a sex educator, I had to take all of these credits. And then I never actually did it because you're limited in what you're able to do. And it was just so corny compared to what I actually do, which is more raunchy. You know what I mean? So I teach. I'm a teacher. That's it. So when I was taking the sexual attitude reassessment, which is like a 3-day workshop where you're like engulfed in porn and all these different crazy things so that you're numb to anything anybody might tell you. So if somebody comes up to you and they're like, my husband wants to cover me in slime, it gets him off, I don't know what to do, I would just look at them and be like, well, how does that make you feel? And why does it bother you? Like, because you're just so desensitized, right? So one of the things that we did was we went to this dungeon, and it was the first and only time I've ever been in a dungeon. And they taught us about BDSM, and they taught us about fire play. They taught us about needles. They taught us about being tied up. They taught us about a whole bunch of things that I was like, what the fuck? And then you got to try it. So I let them put a needle like in my hand, and I let them put fire on my palm, and I got flogged with rabbit fur, which is the only thing that I prefer. I don't prefer leather. But it's cool because you get to know what you like and what you don't like, how far you're willing to go and what you're not willing to do. And I just thought it was really interesting, and I've been wanting to do this, like have other people that I know experience it, because it was one of the freaking coolest experiences I've ever had in the existence of my life, and I think everybody should experience that. So the guy who brought us there had a book, right? And he had taught us in the class about BDSM, and then he sold his book, so I bought his book. So I found his book because, I've been organizing and cleaning. And then I found him on Facebook, and I contacted him, and he said he's willing to do it for me. So now I'm going to put together a class where we talk about like fetishes and sex for like 2 hours. And then we walk over to the dungeon. We have that dungeon experience. Then everybody gets like a goodie bag of like a lot of stuff. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I'm putting that together. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm really numb right now. I'm at a point in my life where like I'm really, really zen. And I got to the point where I realized that I've been trying to please so many people in my life and make everybody happy, and I'm not happy. I'm generally a happy person, but like I've always tried to be everything that my mom wanted me to be, and we're not the same person at all. Like at all. Like I admire her, I love her, I respect her for everything that she did for me, and I'm grateful for that. And the best parts of me are from her. But I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm a very different person I'm more of like my dad. I'm more of like a hippie. My dad's very Buddha. He like left everything behind to live simply. And he literally abandoned his family to just, because he was like, I don't want to fight. If you want to fight, I'm leaving. And he's like, and then he would come back, he'd be like, you're still fighting? I don't know. And then he'd come back, he'd be like, you're still fighting? I'm the same freaking way. I'm like, why are you acting crazy? I don't have time for this. Like, like figure yourself out. You're on your own journey. Like, I'll listen, but like, why are you acting crazy? It's so funny. So me and my dad have recently rekindled like everything, and I'm just like him. And it's so funny because he hasn't been in my life for like 25 years, but I'm just like him. It's freaking crazy. I look just like him too. I'm so much like him, and I can't. And It's interesting. So I've just realized that like he's taught me a lot. Like the last couple of times I saw him, he gave me like $100 each time, which I was like, wow. Which I shouldn't be like, wow, because like he's my dad and he has a lot of time to make up for, but he's not obligated to do anything at this point because I'm an adult, you know? But I was grateful for that. And then I was like, that's what I need. I need a guy who's just going to give me money. Not because like, oh, I'm a gold digger. No, I'm not. Trust me. I've taken care of a lot, if not most of my ex-boyfriends and friends. Like totally hooked them up. Totally like, and not, like, you don't even understand. I'm a very giving person. But I'm 40 years old and I'm looking for somebody. I was always like to pay half the bills. And then I'm like, no, why half the bills? You pay all the bills. You're a man. You're responsible. You should have your own thing. I'm buying my apartment in Spain. You buy whatever property in America. Maybe we'll together buy investment properties and just go all over the country buying foreclosures and going to auctions and stuff like that. We will build a legacy. But I'm looking for my partner. I'm not looking for someone who is just going to be like in my house looking cute, doing dumb stuff, you know? No. I've always been ambitious and motivated. I've always accomplished so much. Like I need my ride or die. You know what I mean? And not just some dude that's just gonna stand there and be like, "Good job, Myra," and pat me on the back. Like, no. Like, you're working too. So it's interesting because he's given me money just out of nowhere. And just for, you know, he's like, here. And now because I'm having an issue with my car, he's been working a lot to make the money to give me money for my car. So it's good. And then he gave me a bunch of glasses because I guess he'd been saving them over the years because he knew he was going to see me again. They're freaking nice. He gave me Gucci glasses, Gentle Giant glasses, Jill Sanders. Oh, what was the other one? Moschino. All of them were like over $200 each pair. I was like, and they all look good on me, and I'm so in love with all of them. So I was like, thanks, Daddy. Like, wow. Like he doesn't even know me, and he knows me. Like I love everything he gave me. Like, what? He's really bad with pocketbooks, though. He doesn't get it, but he's really good with sunglasses, which I thought was awesome. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was he's awesome because like I called him on Valentine's Day and I left him a message, but he's not that technologically savvy. He's 69 or 70 years old or something like that. And he has like this really weird phone that they gave him from like Medicaid or something like that. So it's a horrible phone. He doesn't know how to use it. It was very difficult for me to figure out. So I left him a message on Valentine's Day. And then today he called me and he's like, you know, I was going to call you yesterday, but I wanted to see if you were going to call me. I was really upset that you didn't call me. And I was like, Daddy, I left you a message. He's like, Manita, you know I don't know how to check the messages. And then he's like, oh, well, I didn't get it. And then he got upset. And then I was like, okay. And then he's like, okay, well, I just wanted to say hi. Bye. And I'm like, okay. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I didn't get upset at all. And I didn't care. Because I was like, I know I left a message. So I don't care because I did the right thing, right? That's what I mean, that where I'm at that Zen place where like people try to piss, like, you know, people, the energy that people used to give me that fazed me doesn't faze me anymore. Because I'm back to where I was, I think in 2005. And even 5 years ago before I met this kid, where I'm like, not part of my journey. That's part of your journey. I'm not letting what's going on with you and your journey affect me and my journey. I don't have time for that. I'm sorry, but I got to keep it moving. I'm chilling right now, you know? So he calls me back. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't respect this other guy, because he would never apologize. Well, he would apologize when he like flipped out because he's fucking whatever. But this last time there was a lot of miscommunication, and when I saw there was miscommunication, I said, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I did misconstrue it, and maybe I took it wrong. So let's start from a different place. But when he didn't realize the right word, like he thought I said something, and he thought I said violation and it was volition, you know, like he misread it or whatever, he flipped out. He never came back and was like, oh, my bad. So I just left it alone, and I was like, you know what? I don't need this in my life. I had just got a Reiki chakra tuning. I had just come back from a holistic fair. It was very peaceful and zen. I don't need this drama. My life was straight before you sent that email. I don't need it. So if you're not coming in peace and you're not coming with good vibes and you're not cool enough to be like, you know what? There was a lot of miscommunication. Let's start all over. I don't have time for you. And I don't want you in my life. And I'm okay with walking away because I know what I brought to the table. I know how much I did, that I can walk away with a clear conscience. So my dad, he called me back and he was like, hey baby, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just thought about it and it keeps bothering me. He's like, Marita probably thinks that I'm mad at her. And I was like, no, Daddy, I don't think you're mad at me. I never thought that. And he was just like, okay, because I didn't want you to think, he's like, I haven't been in your life for so long and I just want to, this is the part. I just want to make sure that you're happy and that you're always smiling and that you know that I love you and that you find someone to love you because you deserve it. And I was like, I know, Daddy, thank you. You know? For all you men out there, it is so important that you are present in your children's life and that you try to be the best example in front of them. Who you are with that baby mama or the wife or your, you know, whatever, is a completely different situation than the way that you behave in front of your children. Love them, uplift them, inspire them, and never ever break them down. It is not a good thing. It is not a good thing. It's one thing to yell at them because they did something stupid. Like, correcting them is different than breaking them. Make sure to always uplift and encourage your children. Because of the love that I'm getting from my father, I'm able to do so much more with such a peace in my heart than if he had never come back into my life. I can't speak about anybody else and what they've gone through with their family, but I come from a magnificent family. It's not perfect. Will never say that, but it's so freaking amazing, and it's better than a lot of other things that I've seen and witnessed in my life. Even with their faults, just the lessons and the everything, the education and the upbringing and just the common sense and the etiquette and all of just everything. I'm so grateful for my family. Even with my dad disappearing and coming back, like, I knew the whole time, I was like, he's on like a Buddha journey. And he really was. He was literally on a Buddha journey. Like, he left and just left everything behind and was like, I'm just going to see what life is like. And he came back and he was like, read the Bible, Marita. Read Ecclesiastes. Read Proverbs. Read this, read that. Watch Channel 54, which is like a Christian channel in New York, you know, when you have an antenna. He's like, just, you know, and he found himself and he's at such peace, you know. And it's like the moment I told my mom that I found my dad, she was like, blah, blah, blah. And I get why they're not together at all. I totally get it, because I would have been like, zzz, you know. Jesus. But again, I do love my mom and I totally get it, because she's pissed. She's like, I've been raising this girl by myself all of these years and now you want to pop up, you know. But she doesn't get that it doesn't matter how long it's been. When you have your parents, you love them. Like, I think I was watching a show, what was it? And they were saying, like, it doesn't matter how messed up your parents are, you're always gonna love them, you know. It was a comedian, and she's like, it doesn't matter but she said it like she cursed. She's like, it doesn't matter like how messed up your parents are, you always want your mom, you know. And it's true. Like, if I had to choose, I would always pick my mom over my dad, like, totally, without a doubt, you know. But I'm very grateful for the time that I have with my father right now, and everything that he's brought to the table, and all the lessons that he's teaching me. Like, he's really trying to make up for lost time. So every time he sees me, he'll give me the most random advice. Like the other day, it was so random. He's like, Marita, before you leave the house, always take a shit. He's like, you don't want to have to use the bathroom in public. It's not a good idea, and you don't want to use it in other people's houses. He's like, just trust me. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's like the kind of advice you give your son. You know what I mean? Like, not your daughter, but okay. Like, just random. It brings me joy. And I cherish everything that comes out of his mouth because I'm like, okay, daddy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're right. Uh-huh. It's just because I see that he's trying, and he really is trying. So I'm grateful for that. And that's what I mean is at that point, I feel like when I found him in June, I found him on my birthday, June 24th, 2019. The moment I spoke with him, I knew that I was ready to get married and be in a committed relationship, and I was ready for that phase of my life. And the more time that I spent with him, the more I felt at peace with myself and the dynamic, because both my parents have been divorced 4 times. And so I didn't want to do that. I only wanted to find one person, but you never know who it's going to be. You just got to jump in. And I was in love with somebody for 5 years, but then I realized that that's going nowhere because there is no reciprocation in that friendship. And it was just a friendship, but all I wanted was a friendship. And I realized recently that I was never going to get that from that person. No matter what happens, I was never going to get a sincere friendship from this individual. So when I finally understood that, it was very easy for me to let go and then move on with every part of my life. But it all stemmed with my dad coming back in and showing me boundaries, priorities, standards, expectations, you know. And part of me, I guess, cared about this kid a lot because he reminded me of my dad. But now I realize that he's nothing like my dad. And that's a good thing. So I'm happy. I'm just chill. Like, I'm in a very zen. I don't know if you've ever watched my videos, you'll see and this is how I talk all the time now. I'm just so zen. I'm like not even, and I get excited about anything for a little while. Also because I'm not watching TV. It's killing me. Like, I was going to start again on February 26th, but now I got to wait another week. So maybe like March 6th or something like that. But I'm probably going to stay home for 3 days and just watch TV, like nonstop. Because I miss it so much. I learned so much. I don't watch dumb stuff. I watch very educational things. Like, all my friends are like, you watch the most interesting things. I'm like, yeah, why would I watch TV if it's not to learn something? Duh. But yeah, so I'm just really like, I'm thirsting for knowledge and TV and stuff like that. But in the meantime, I guess I'll just read a lot and work on my projects. I have to put together now this advertisement for that class and post it, and then just start telling everybody about it. So as I do jobs, I'm like, oh yeah, I do, I teach, I'm a relationship coach and blah, blah, blah. Check out my website. There's this really cool class. You should sign up for it. I'm only limited to like a certain number of people. So hurry up and reserve your spot. I'm in New York City. It's called the Intimacy School. So if you want to come to that class, keep an eye out on the website because I'm going to post it soon. And then today is Sunday, the 14th, 15th, the 16th. So at some point this week I'll post it. And then I have to start contacting venues to see where I can hold this Women Can Do It Too conference. I'm thinking I already have 2 locations that I want to hold it at. It all depends on the number of people, how much of a deposit I have to leave, and then I got to work my butt off to make that deposit. Everything is self-funded until I start getting investors and sponsors. So if you know anybody who would love to be a sponsor or would like their stuff in a goodie bag, let me know, because you could send the stuff over. We'll put it in the goodie bag complimentary, and that way you can expand your brand and we can have more items to offer people. Obviously the target market is women, all types of women. But yeah, so that's basically it. I'm really tired. I just want to go to bed right now. Okay. Good night, guys. Bye.